Today's Tesla surge does not mean the market has made up its mind, but it does tell us something far more important. It shows what investors are starting to care about next. If you're watching TSLA and feeling uneasy, excited, or unsure what to do, you're not alone. And today's video is not about hype or fear. It's about understanding this move calmly from a structural perspective, not an emotional one. Hi, this is Ken. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer framework for how to interpret days like today, not just whether the stock went up or down, but why it moved and what actually matters going forward. This perspective works whether you're a long-term investor or someone trying to avoid emotional mistakes in volatile markets. My goal is simple: to help you think one step ahead of the crowd instead of reacting with it. Let's start by calmly laying out what actually happened. Tesla stock moved sharply higher today. The price jumped several percent in a single session, pushing into the mid $440 range at the time I'm recording this. Volume increased noticeably, and it was clear the market's attention returned to Tesla in a big way. Compared to the previous few days, this was not a normal trading session. It was a day where sentiment clearly shifted. But here's the key point. There was no new earnings report, no confirmed breakthrough announcement, no single concrete data point that suddenly changed Tesla's fundamentals. And that distinction matters more than most people realize. So why did the market move like this? Broadly speaking, two narratives were circulating. The first was renewed analyst commentary focusing on autonomy and Robotaxi as Tesla's long-term growth engine. Not a new idea, but a reframing of how central that story may be. The second was broader industry attention returning to autonomous driving as a serious theme, not just a futuristic concept. This wasn't about Tesla alone. It was about the entire sector being reevaluated. But here's the crucial nuance. Neither of these were new facts. What changed was not reality, but perception. Expectations moved slightly forward, and the market repriced possibility rather than certainty. And this is where many investors start to feel confused. Because when a stock jumps like this, the instinct is to ask, did something fundamentally change today? In Tesla's case, the honest answer is no, but something else did change. The lens through which the market is beginning to look at Tesla. And that brings us to the most important question of this entire discussion. Is today's move the start of a new trend or just noise? To answer that properly, we need to separate short-term emotion from medium-term structure. That's where things start to get interesting, and that's what we'll dig into next. To understand where Tesla sits right now, we need to look beyond today's price action. In the past, Tesla stock was judged almost entirely on short-term metrics. Deliveries, price cuts, margins, quarterly earnings. Good numbers meant rallies, bad numbers meant sharp sell-offs. That framework worked when Tesla was primarily viewed as an EV manufacturer, but today something subtle is shifting. The market is beginning to ask different questions. Not how many cars did Tesla sell this quarter, but can Tesla actually deploy autonomy at scale? And who else realistically can do this first? This doesn't mean traditional metrics no longer matter. It means they're no longer the only lens. We are in a transition phase where execution potential is starting to matter as much as immediate results. This shift has an important consequence for investors. When a stock is priced purely on near-term numbers, reactions are fast and extreme. But when a stock is being evaluated on future systems and execution capability, price discovery takes time. That's why we're seeing something interesting. Good news no longer locks in valuation overnight, and bad news doesn't always cause the same kind of collapse we used to see. This is not a confused market. It's a market preparing to decide how to value Tesla next. And that preparation phase is often uncomfortable. Here's the unexpected part that many investors miss. Days like today are often not the start of a trend. They are signals that the market is changing what it pays attention to. In hindsight, major re-ratings usually don't begin with certainty. They begin with disagreement. When everyone agrees, the move is already over. Right now, the market is still debating what Tesla actually is. That debate is far more important than today's percentage gain. So, what will actually matter going forward? Not headlines alone, but specifics. Where autonomy is deployed first, at what level of capability, under what regulatory framework, and how revenue is realistically generated over time. Until those answers become clearer, volatility will remain. But volatility in a transition phase is very different from volatility in decline. This leads to the key takeaway I want to leave you with. Today was not a day to chase the stock, and it was not a day to panic. It was a day to step back and observe what the market is beginning to test. Long-term investors don't win by reacting to every candle. They win by recognizing when the narrative framework starts to shift. If you understand the structure beneath the price, days like today become useful, not stressful. The next real test will come as we move closer to earnings and operational updates. That's where expectations meet reality. I'll be releasing a dedicated breakdown soon to walk through what actually matters in the upcoming phase. Watch that with today's perspective in mind. If this video helped clarify your thinking, feel free to like it. And if you want calm, structured Tesla analysis without the noise, consider subscribing. As always, let's keep watching Tesla not as traders chasing moves, but as long-term investors thinking ahead. Thank you for watching. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language, so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, so feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.